Alrighty, so we were actually reacting to the Emmys live stream, but well, it became unavailable because we live in Australia and the world hates us.
The live streams just never work here. So anyway,
so instead we decided to react to The Darkest Hour. Actually, Darkest Hour, not to be confused with the 2011 Emile Hirsch film that has a 16 Metacritic and actually
it's actually one of
stinks.
the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Anyway, we're kind of expecting this to be great because obviously what we're seeing behind us right now is Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, and that is just insane from the get-go. Like as soon as we heard about that being a thing, we're like, yeah, I'm down for that. And it's directed by Joe Wright, who did Atonement, and he also did Pan.
But let's pan that one off to the side because we don't want to have to talk about it. But yes, he is a very good director and he has done well, but obviously his most recent efforts were a little poor. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Gary Oldman in over 250 hours of makeup as Winston Churchill.
Not per day, obviously.
No, definitely not per day. I don't think. Anyway, let's watch this trailer. Let's check it out.
He put on the weight. He looks like he's gone like fully committed to it. Let's just see what this is like.
We must now select my successor, and it's only one man the opposition will accept.
He stands for one thing, and one thing only, himself.
Why have I been forced to send for Churchill? This
Ben
record
Mendelsohn.
is a catastrophe.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn is
Let
King
me see
George
your
VI,
true
I believe.
qualities, your lack of vanity,
Yeah, my iron will.
your sense of humour.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh boy, Christ.
Your Majesty.
It is my duty to invite you to take up the position of Prime Minister of this United Kingdom.
Wow, that's actually really well shot.
I speak to you for the first time as Prime Minister.
He just disappears, man.
The Germans have encircled 60 British and French divisions. We are looking at a collapse of Western Europe within the next few days.
How long have they got if we don't rescue them?
Oh, Willie
Maybe
James,
2 days.
okay.
We would need a miracle to get our men out.
You have the full weight of the world on your shoulders.
We're facing certain defeat on land, the annihilation of our army,
Stannis.
and imminent invasion. We must negotiate peace talks.
When will the lesson be learned? You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth!
Nonsense. The only slippery slope.
Would you stop interrupting me while I am interrupting you?
Dear God, Gary Oldman.
We have before us many long months of struggle and suffering.
Even though many old and famous states have fallen into the grip of the Nazi rule.
We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight
Overexposure.
on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender! For without victory, there can be no survival.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So I want to say straight up, I can't vouch for the film itself because at this stage we don't know if the film's going to be good. What we're seeing there does look really good. But what I do think we're going to get is a lot of fantastic performances in that film. And obviously, Gary Oldman spearheading that. I don't even think the guy's been Oscar nominated. I mean, I may be wrong.
Yes,
but
no, he has.
Okay, thank fuck.
Yeah,
because
he was up against Daniel Day-Lewis for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy when Daniel Day-Lewis won for Lincoln.
that was it.
And of course, he's going to be up against Daniel Day-Lewis here again because,
in
of
his
course,
final
DDL
role.
is going to be nominated for his final ever film with Paul
It's
Thomas
just a
Anderson.
given. There's no way he won't be.
But to get a year with a Daniel Day-Lewis performance and a Gary Oldman performance,
And Gary Oldman
like,
not being Gary Oldman, like Gary Oldman disappearing and becoming someone we don't recognize. Gary
yeah,
Oldman.
like to this level is just unbelievable. Like this, it's looking very exciting. Like I'm really excited for this film because I have seen Atonement. I absolutely love it. I've read the book and I love that as well. But the film here, Joe Wright's gone to war before. Obviously, Atonement is set in the war era and he captured it really nicely. He's gone for a different style and a different approach and a different look here and it looks pretty sweet. It's actually by the cinematographer, I don't know if you know, the cinematographer who did Amelie and Prisoner of Azkaban
yes.
as
Okay,
well.
sure.
So we've,
I can't remember the guy's name, but he did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes as well.
I believe so.
Yes,
Yeah. He's
so-
done a fair bit, but hold on. My bad. It's Bruno Debanel. So he did Inside Llewyn Davis. He did Half-Blood Prince. I mean, this guy, he's got quite a good track record. So it's very, very exciting visually as well.
And you can see that there. A lot of that film was actually played in wides. Like, there wasn't a lot of actual close-ups happening. A lot of it was kind of told in this kind of wide shot with all this great art design behind it. It had this really great kind of look. It had this kind of grayed, washed out, like London back then type look. But at the same time, it definitely had a lot of style to it. And I guess the way the light was just hitting things was really, really exciting in general. It had this kind of like glowing look from the kind of overexposure, a lot of white. I don't know, like it looks good. I don't know at this stage how it's going to turn out based on the track record of those involved, but everything does say...
It's also from the writer who did The Theory of Everything. That was his last thing that he did, right? So, I mean, like, that's again...
He did right? Joe Wright?
So yeah, that's not something to necessarily go off, but that film was pretty well written at least anyway. But I mean, like, also the other thing I want to touch on is a lot of freaking people are going to get up in arms about the fact that, like, Gary Oldman should not be nominated because of all the makeup and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Just, if you're even thinking like that, fuck off and, you know, twist your brain on a little bit tighter.
Acting's acting.
Acting is acting, and the amount that he has to work with here, like, within how much makeup... The guy's extraordinary. If you're thinking like that...
Makeup is an inanimate thing. It's
like,
not real.
Please.
It's like, it doesn't perform. The
just
actor
stop.
does.
We shouldn't even have to talk about it or explain it.
But we do. Because,
we do.
You know, it's the internet, and logic defeats a lot of people.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on Darkest Hour. What did you think? Let us know in the comment section below.
And while you're down there, it's probably worth hitting our subscribe button to see more stuff from us.
And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, all at Breaking Banner.